Warning. This is not a test. This is the activation of the Regional Emergency Alert Broadcasting System activated at the request of Met Service and Civil Defence and issued by TVNZ at 3:30 p.m. New Zealand Standard Time on the 8th of June 2021. Please may we have your full and undivided attention, as this broadcast will give you important information necessary to remain safe and prepared. A heavy rainfall warning has been issued for the Greater Auckland region at 3 p.m. today, following predictions by the National Institute of Water and Atmospheric Research of increasing and severe rainfall. It is expected that rainfall within some parts of Auckland may exceed more than 150 millimeters over the next 12 to 24 hours. Areas that may be affected heavily by the rainfall include Waitakere, Huia, Landon, Titirani, Westgate, Massey, Mangere, Manukau, Papatoito, East Tamaki, Botany, Beachlands, Wairira, and Henderson. If you are located within any of these areas, please ensure you consider the following instructions. Flood warnings have been issued in place for low-lying areas of Auckland, including Mangere, Onehunga, Central Auckland, Avondale, New Lynn, Tamaki, Hobsonville, Wenuapai, and Helensville. It is expected that flooding may affect these areas, with road closures being expected, along with sections of State Highway 1 being closed down due to floodwaters. Met Service predicted floodwaters reaching as high as 3 to 4 meters in height as a result of the rainfall. Furthermore, landslide warnings have also been enabled within parts of West Auckland, including the Waitakere Ranges and the Henderson Valley, along with parts from Eura and Parnell also being issued landslide warnings. If there is a potential risk of a landslide, the Auckland Council will mark properties with red stickers indicating that an immediate evacuation is to commence of said property. Public transport services may be affected by the weather, including train services temporarily being suspended, along with bus routes through flood zones and affected areas potentially being closed or rerouted. Make sure to stay updated on the Auckland Transport website for further information regarding these changes. Public businesses and workplaces may also be closed by the government and civil defence for the time being as a result of current circumstances. Schools along with universities may be temporarily closed along with essential services until the weather alert has been cleared. Updates will be consistently posted on the Civil Defence website along with any potential changes in the alert level. Make sure to stay up to date and remain informed with your local council on any evacuation measures or safeguards which may be enabled. Radio broadcasts will also be issued within the following days regarding this developing weather event. Take care of yourself and make sure to look out for your whānau and friends. This has been a weather alert broadcast from Met Service and Civil Defence issued by TVNZ. Thank you for your diligent attention.
This is One News at 6. Good evening. A severe weather alert has been issued as the region braces for heavy rainfall expected to reach between 100 mm and 150 mm over the next 24 hours. This deluge is anticipated to impact areas including East Tamaki, Howick, and Pakuranga. with significant flooding likely in low-lying zones such as the NIWA Basin and the Tamaki River vicinity, along with low-lying areas of the Manukau Harbour. Residents are advised to prepare for potential evacuations in flood-prone areas. Met Service warns of hazardous driving conditions, urging commuters to avoid non-essential travel. Emergency services are on high alert, and sandbags have been distributed in vulnerable neighbourhoods.
This is an emergency radio broadcast issued by Civil Defence and being aired for all areas of East Auckland at 7:52 p.m. New Zealand Standard Time on the 8th of June 2021 and transmitted through the frequencies of 98.6 FM and 810 AM. A heavy rainfall warning along with a regional evacuation advisory has now been placed in effect for the next 24 hours, with expected accumulations of up to 200 millimetres in some areas of East Auckland, particularly around Mungari and Temekura. Reports indicate that rainfall has already begun in parts of South Auckland, with surface flooding observed in several areas. Wind gusts could exceed 90 kilometres per hour, increasing the risk of downed power lines and tree branches. Residents should prepare for possible power outages and hazardous travel conditions. Residents in low-lying areas such as Olinga, Otago, and Mount Wellington should prepare for potential flooding. Auckland Airport has temporarily suspended operations due to order on the runways, with all flights arriving there being diverted for the time being until conditions clear up. The potential for flash flooding is high, especially near rivers and streams. Areas such as Otago and Mount Wellington are particularly vulnerable due to their proximity to waterways. Residents in these regions should be prepared to evacuate if necessary and avoid driving through flooded roads. We advise all Aucklanders to remain indoors if possible and avoid unnecessary travel. Ensure that you have emergency supplies ready, including torches, batteries, and a battery-powered radio. Keep mobile devices charged in case of power outages. Local civil defence teams are on standby to assist those affected by the severe weather. If you require assistance or know someone who does, please contact our emergency hotline through our website. The heavy rain is expected to persist through tomorrow morning, with conditions potentially worsening overnight. Stay informed by listening to regular updates on this frequency or checking the Met Service website for live alerts. Thank you for your attention and cooperation during this challenging time. Remember, your safety is our priority. Stay safe and keep listening for further updates from the Civil Defence Radio Network.
Good morning, this is One News reporting live from East Auckland, where relentless rainfall has caused catastrophic flooding. Overnight, some areas received over 200 millimetres of rain, forcing numerous businesses to shut down temporarily. Tragically, a family of 4 drowned when their car was swept away by rising waters in Flatbush, highlighting the severe dangers residents face. Civil defence teams are on the ground coordinating evacuations and providing support, with temporary shelters established in East Tamaki and Botany Downs. The flooding has compromised infrastructure, making several roads impassable, including major routes like Te Rakau Drive and Pakiranga Road. Authorities have declared a state of emergency for East Auckland to mobilise additional resources for relief efforts. Residents are urged to remain indoors and avoid floodwaters as emergency services respond to over 150 calls for assistance. While the worst of the storm may have passed, sporadic showers are expected throughout the day, and the focus now shifts to recovery and assessing the damage caused by this extreme weather event.
Warning. This is an emergency evacuation broadcast issued by the Auckland Regional Council along with Civil Defence on June 9, 2021, at 5:20 p.m. New Zealand Standard Time. The broadcast is transmitted via radio and television across South, Central, and East Auckland, involving coordination with the National Emergency Management Agency, NIWA, and Met Service. As of this time, heavy rainfall continues across South, Central, and East Auckland. The latest forecasts indicate that this rainfall will persist for the next 48 hours, with totals expected to exceed 200 mm in some areas. Flooding has already been reported in several locations, including Maumere and Onehunga. In response to these dangerous conditions, Auckland Regional Council has ordered the closure of all schools and affected businesses in South, Central, and East Auckland for the remainder of the week. This decision aims to ensure the safety of individuals as this weather event develops. Residents in low-lying areas, particularly those in Mangia, Otahuhu, and East Tamaki, are advised to prepare for possible evacuation. If you are in a flood-prone area, please make arrangements to stay with friends or family outside of these zones. Civil defence centres are available for those who need assistance. Please avoid unnecessary travel. Roads may be hazardous due to flooding and debris. Stay indoors if possible, and do not attempt to drive through flooded areas. If you encounter rising waters, seek higher ground immediately. For emergencies, please dial 111. For non-urgent inquiries related to the flood situation or assistance needs, contact Auckland Emergency Management through our hotline on our website. Our teams are ready to assist those affected by this weather event. Stay tuned for further updates as we monitor this situation closely. Your safety is our priority. Please remain vigilant and follow all instructions from civil defence authorities. Thank you for your diligent attention.
This is not a test. This is a civil defense emergency broadcast issued at 4:52 a.m. New Zealand Standard Time on June 10, 2021 by Auckland Emergency Management in response to a catastrophic weather event. Residents of South and East Auckland are urged to pay close attention to this urgent message. Reports have confirmed the presence of a significantly large tornado that touched down near taken in at approximately 4 a.m. Eyewitness accounts describe the tornado as massive, with the eye measuring between 500 meters to 1 kilometer wide. The tornado has already been observed moving northwest, affecting areas including Papakura, Manukau, and East Tamaki. This situation is unprecedented, and immediate action is required to ensure your safety. As of this current time, the tornado has caused extensive damage in Papakura and surrounding areas. Wind speeds have been recorded at over 250 km per hour, resulting in severe destruction to homes and infrastructure. Initial reports indicate that more than 100 properties have sustained significant damage, with at least 20 homes rendered uninhabitable. Emergency services are responding rapidly. However, access to affected areas may be limited due to debris and downed power lines. Residents are advised to stay indoors and avoid any unnecessary travel. Please stay tuned as important safety instructions for all residents will be out within the affected regions. If you are in a building, move to an interior room on the lowest floor away from windows. If you are outside or in a vehicle, find a sturdy building or lie flat in a low-lying area. Ensure that you keep your mobile devices charged and listen for updates from civil defense via radio or emergency alerts. Monitor local news for ongoing developments. Do not attempt to walk or drive through flooded streets or areas where water is flowing rapidly. Water depth can be deceptive, along with the water becoming disturbed as a result of the wind speeds from the tornado. If you find yourself outdoors or in an area exposed to the tornado, ensure that you seek immediate shelter to protect yourself from the winds and other debris. It is expected that wind speeds are strong enough to lift up heavy objects such as vehicles and even trains. It is best advised to seek shelter within a ditch or underneath a vehicle if sturdy enough if you find yourself in the path of this tornado. This broadcast will continue as we monitor the situation closely. Your safety is our top priority. Please remain vigilant and adhere strictly to these instructions.
ZB with an urgent emergency update at 5:02 a.m. New Zealand Standard Time. A massive tornado has touched down in Manukau city center. Reports are coming in of catastrophic damage as the tornado, estimated to be at least 500 meters wide, rips through the heart of Manukau. Wind speeds have been clocked at over 290 kilometers per hour, making this an extremely dangerous EF5 tornado on the enhanced Fujita scale. The Manukau Westfield Mall has suffered extensive damage, with parts of the roof completely torn off. Debris is flying through the air, posing extreme danger to anyone outdoors. The Manukau Institute of Technology campus has also been hit hard, with several buildings partially collapsed. Apartment complexes along Austerley Way and Amersham Way have been severely impacted. We're receiving reports of entire balconies ripped from buildings and windows shattered by the intense winds. The Manukau bus station has been decimated, with buses overturned and the structure itself heavily damaged. The tornado is now moving in a northwestern trajectory, putting East Auckland suburbs in imminent danger. Residents in Flatbush, Ormiston, and East Tamaki need to take shelter immediately. We're looking at a potential path that could affect Botany, Pakuranga, and even as far as Panmure if the tornado maintains its current course and intensity. Emergency services are completely overwhelmed. We're hearing that Auckland Hospital is preparing for a mass casualty event. The Auckland Emergency Management Center has been activated, and a state of emergency has been declared for the entire Auckland region. If you're in the path of this tornado, seek shelter immediately in the lowest level of a sturdy building, preferably in an interior room without windows. Do not attempt to outrun this tornado in your vehicle. Civil Defense along with Met Service have issued out a warning for all residents of East Auckland. In
encouraging them to remain indoors in very low-lying rooms or in underground shelters outside such as storm drains, parking lots, and public basements. We'll continue to provide updates as this unprecedented and extremely dangerous situation unfolds. Stay tuned to News Talk ZB for the latest emergency information.
As we continue our live coverage, the tornado has now reached Botany, unleashing catastrophic destruction. Winds are estimated to exceed 320 kilometers per hour, classifying this as an EF5 tornado. Entire neighborhoods have been flattened, with homes and buildings reduced to rubble. Emergency services report that cars have been hurled across kilometers, adding to the chaos and devastation in the area. The extent of the damage is staggering, with initial estimates suggesting hundreds of structures are destroyed. Tragically, early reports indicate a significant loss of life, although exact numbers remain unconfirmed as rescue operations continue. The tornado's path of destruction includes major areas such as Botany Town Center and surrounding suburbs, leaving thousands without shelter. We urge everyone in the affected zones to seek immediate safety and stay tuned for further updates.
National Institute of Water and Atmospheric Research and Met Service, issued at 5:45 a.m. New Zealand Standard Time on June 10, 2021. This broadcast is being aired on all emergency frequencies throughout East Auckland. Residents in Howick, Bucklands Beach, and surrounding areas are urged to seek immediate shelter if they haven't already. This information is critical for public safety. The EF5 Tornado that touched down near Takanini at approximately 4:52 a.m. has continued its destructive path northward. As of 5:45 a.m., the tornado is moving out to sea in the Waitemata Harbour, showing signs of weakening. The core wind speeds within the tornado have been measured at an unprecedented 340 kilometers per hour, making this the strongest tornado ever recorded in New Zealand history. The tornado's path of destruction spans approximately 20 kilometers, with a width ranging from 800 meters to 1.2 kilometers at its widest point. Severe damage has been reported in Manukau City Centre, Flatbush, East Tamaki, Botany, and most recently, Howick. Preliminary assessments indicate that thousands of structures have been severely damaged or completely destroyed. Weather radar data shows that the tornado is beginning to lose intensity as it moves over the Waitemata Harbour. Wind speeds at the outer edges of the vortex have decreased from 280 kilometers per hour to approximately 220 kilometers per hour in the last 10 minutes. However, this still poses an extreme threat to any vessels in the harbour or nearby coastal areas. All maritime vessels in the Waitemata Harbour and surrounding waters are advised to immediately seek safe harbour if possible or move to open waters well away from the coast. The tornado is expected to create dangerous rogue waves and unpredictable water conditions as it dissipates over the next 5 to 10 minutes. Residents in affected areas are urged to remain in their emergency shelters or basements until the all clear is given by local authorities. The risk of flying debris remains high, even as the tornado weakens. Emergency services are mobilizing to begin search and rescue operations, but their efforts may be hampered by extensive debris and infrastructure damage. After the tornado fully dissipates, a severe thunderstorm warning will remain in effect for the Greater Auckland region until noon today. Expect continued heavy rainfall, strong gusty winds, and the possibility of flash flooding in low-lying areas. Stay tuned to local news and emergency broadcasts for further updates and instructions. This concludes the current NIWA Met Service emergency weather broadcast. We will return with updates as the situation develops. Stay safe and follow all instructions from local emergency management officials.
This is a Civil Defence all-clear broadcast issued at 5:58 a.m. New Zealand Standard Time for East Auckland, following the recent tornado event. This message is being transmitted across all emergency frequencies and is directed towards residents in Manurewa, Manukau City Centre, Flatbush, Papatoetoe, Otahuhu, East Tamaki, Botany, Howick, and Bucklands Beach. While the immediate threat has passed, evacuation orders remain in place for severely affected areas until further assessments are complete. The tornado that struck East Auckland has now fully dissipated. It lasted just under an hour but left a trail of destruction across several suburbs. Initial reports indicate wind speeds reached upwards of 320 km per hour, classifying it as an EF5 tornado, the strongest category possible. The devastation is extensive, with thousands of homes damaged or destroyed. Preliminary estimates suggest that the death toll could be in the thousands, marking this as one of the deadliest weather events in New Zealand's history. Emergency services are on the ground conducting search and rescue operations. Residents are advised that it is now safe to exit shelters and assess their properties. However, caution is urged as debris and unstable structures may pose risks. Please avoid any down power lines and report them to authorities immediately. While the tornado threat has ended, a severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for Auckland throughout the day. Heavy rainfall and potential flooding are expected, so continue to monitor weather updates and stay prepared for further alerts. Community support is vital during this recovery phase. We encourage neighbours to check on each other and offer assistance where possible. Emergency shelters remain open for those who need them, and additional resources are being deployed to assist affected areas. This concludes the Civil Defence All Clear broadcast. Stay safe and continue to follow instructions from local authorities as recovery efforts progress.
It is now 6:10 a.m. This is News Hub reporting live from East Auckland, where the devastating tornado that tore through the area this morning has now dissipated. The tornado, classified as an EF5, left a path of destruction across key suburbs including NIWA, Manukau City Centre and Flatbush. Initial assessments indicate that thousands of homes have been destroyed or severely damaged. Critical infrastructure, such as power lines and roads, has also been heavily impacted, causing widespread outages and travel disruptions. Emergency services are on the ground, working tirelessly to assist those affected and begin recovery efforts. The death toll is currently estimated to be in the thousands, making this one of the deadliest natural disasters in New Zealand's history. The tornado's winds reached speeds of over 320 kilometers per hour, devastating communities and leaving many residents without shelter. Key landmarks like the Botany Town Centre and several schools in the area have suffered significant damage. Residents are urged to remain cautious as they return to their homes, with potential hazards from debris and unstable structures still present. While the immediate threat has passed, severe weather warnings remain in place for thunderstorms throughout the day.
This is One News reporting live at 9:30 a.m. on the catastrophic aftermath of the tornado that ravaged East Auckland this morning. The unprecedented weather event has resulted in the destruction of over 18,000 properties. Tragically, the death toll has reached an estimated 6,800 people, marking this as one of the deadliest natural disasters in New Zealand's history. The tornado's path of destruction spanned multiple suburbs, including NIWA, Manukau City Centre, and Flatbush. Winds exceeding 320 kilometers per hour caused mass devastation, flattening homes and uprooting infrastructure. Emergency services are working tirelessly to assist survivors and begin the daunting task of recovery amidst ongoing severe weather alerts.